Geofrey. I'm an associate teaching professor in art and design, and one of the courses I teach is titled Human-Centered AI. And in spite of that, people are often surprised when I say that, in general, I really don't use AI tools in my research, in my creative practice, or even much in everyday life. I have a number of reasons for choosing not to use AI. I think one of the big reasons is that the emergence and sort of ubiquity of AI technologies has really crystallized for me a number of value tensions that arise in my own creative practice and how AI does or doesn't fit inside of that. One of the primary frameworks that motivates my work in general is value-sensitive design. And in that framework, there's this notion of value tensions or conflicts. What happens when people have different values that need to be honored or recognized in the design of a technology or a product? Or what happens when someone's individual values come into conflict with the kinds of values that become evident in how a product is designed. I think that in a lot of my creative practice, one of the really important values that motivates my work is that the things I produce come from my own hands. This is true even of my technical work. I don't use AI to prepare lesson plans. I don't use AI to assess student work. I don't use AI to generate PowerPoint slides that I might use for a lecture, or to draft ideas for a graphic design that I want to create for a certain project. All of these things I do by hand, and they take a lot of time. But that time that is spent is extraordinarily meaningful and valuable to me. And so I value spending that time, which means I often have to do some extra work just to get away from potentially needing to use AI for any of these activities. Now, all of that being said, one of the really interesting things that I'm observing around the way that people in my circles do or do not interact with AI is that there's this return to material, physical, traditional ways of doing things and practices. Some of these things I also do in my own life. And I think that it's rooted in what I think a lot of people are sort of coming to realize, which is that yes, AI is becoming very integrated and omnipresent, but it doesn't have to be that way, right? That assumption of integration is very deterministic, and that doesn't give us much choice in shaping what the future could look like. I look forward to more sorts of public declarations around, do we need to use AI for all of these purposes and all of these different situations, which in the end, hopefully will reveal and surface the different kinds of value tensions that I think many people are grappling with right now around AI, but those kinds of value tensions that just aren't being made visible in sort of the public discourse and conversation about AI as a technology and the futures that it promises.